Talking with famous people.
Hi, boys. Having deep moral discussions.
Hello.
Moral. My dad.
Okay. Hi.
Family bonding.
For the internet people.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's the internet.
We're talking about the ethics of giving, ethics of charity. And my position is you can't judge the ethical decision on the outcomes of the action. You have to judge it on, well, because to do so would mean that you have to accurately predict the future to be moral. So it has to be the case that moral decision making precedes results in some fashion, and that's why I favor a negative rights framework.
Favor what?
A negative rights kind of a framework which indicates that rights violations are morally impermissible. Things that are rights non-invasive are morally permissible generally, and altruism is generally morally permissible, although there might be some instances where it's morally obligatory. And it's always morally obligatory to adhere to the principle of non-interference, whereby one doesn't transgress upon another. Except unless instances of responsive violence or coercion that's response to injustice that's on the flow unfixed yet.
It's libertarianism.
But it's from an ethics framework, not from a policy framework.
It's got the same basis.
But I mean, it plays out very differently when you're talking about individuals behaving in the world versus public policy.
Yeah, I can see that. My theory is a lot simpler than that. Yeah.
Your theory is what?
It's a lot simpler than that. It's from me to the end of my hand, and beyond that, I can't control that.
That's kind of what he's saying.
Yeah.
So your arm?
My obligation is to not to control beyond that point.
Oh, so you don't try to exercise will on the external world. You try to keep it. You try to be reactive.
Well, I suppose
To the behavior of others.
proactive to the extent of who I choose to give to, but beyond that, no.
Okay, you're just talking about specifically in terms of giving.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, it is. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page. Okay, so basically it's an individual act that you choose in the moment, or is it something you do regularly? Like you say, I give this much to this organization every year, or is it like this guy in the street I give $5 to?
Yes to all of the above.
Okay. What do you think about this question that we were just asking and answering, which is, there was a drunk homeless guy to whom I gave $5 a while back, and the question is posed here then, is that a good thing to do, knowing that he very well might spend that $5 on alcohol? Is it a good act of altruism or a bad act of altruism? What do you think?
I know what his answer to that would be. I'd take the guy and buy him $5 worth of food.
That I didn't take. So we're adjudicating an act that's already completed. Was I good or bad in doing that act?
I think you were good. I mean, you know, that guy has a choice in what he does with that $5. Either drinking is more valuable to him, or sustaining his life is more valuable to him.
I see.
And you know, we don't always all have the opportunity to go buy somebody $5 worth of food.
Right. What does Nick's mom think about this? Is that Nick's mom back there?
Yeah.
Hi.
No cussing for my mom, please. Real
I'm not
she'll
cussing. I'm not cussing. We're
or
talking philosophy
she
here.
won't listen to anything else you say. That's just it.
Yeah.
So, do you have a
I think giving is good, period.
giving's good period?
Depends on what your heart is and what your motive is.
So it's kind of what he's
And even just even if they do something foolish with it, if your heart's in it, maybe they feel your love in it. And maybe that will lead him to the lover who is Jesus Christ our Savior.
If you had an opportunity to buy somebody a mosquito net who needed it in a poor country for $50, or have the organization give that guy $50 directly, which would you choose?
Well, if I were there to give him the mosquito net, I'd definitely do it. If I saw the need at hand,
that's
right
not
there.
that's not what he's asking.
Oh, what are you
So
asking?
if you're making a donation to an organization
Give it
and you
$50.
can
You've already given it, and they've sent now they send you a letter saying, due to a new policy at our charity, we now ask each charitable giver to designate option A or B. Option A is we take your $50, we buy a mosquito net, we give it to the poor people. Option B is we give $50 directly to the poor people. Which do you choose?
I think I would go according to how much of that money actually goes
well, it's all of it.
to.
50.
So it's all of it.
But
Because sometimes
do you
they
want
question the
them-
organization.
Do you want to have them to have a $50 mosquito net, or do you want?
I
them
think
to
the
have
mosquito
$50?
net would last them a whole lot longer than a $50 bill that they go spend on whatever.
Okay. What if they said, no, Senora, we need to buy a new halter for our burrow. That's more important to us than this mosquito net, and it costs $50. If you get us $50, I'm going to go buy the burrow halter thing. Yoke. I didn't know the word because I only speak Spanish.
Whatever's more beneficial. But would they need more? I use a mosquito net where I live.
Right. Well, these people have a mosquito problem. They live in Ecuador. They live right on the edge of the jungle in Ecuador, and they've got big mosquito problems. But they also need a new yoke for the burrow. Now, the charitable organization, they say that they need the mosquito net more, but the burrow owner guy says no, they need the burrow yoke more. And the charitable organization points out, but look, the mosquito net's going to stop mosquito-borne disease, and that's more important. So, do those arguments alter your decision as to which one you go with?
No, because they're both a need.
They're both the need, but each party's disagreeing as to which need is more pressing.
Well, guess what I would do? I would pray. And I ask God, okay, which do I do? Because He's the God of all wisdom. And then let Him direct me.
You don't have time.
If I don't have time, then I just go with my gut.
They're trying to figure out how your mind is working. That's the
I'm
point of these
I'm
questions.
just saying my honest answers.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be something else.
That's fine. I think that's a fine answer. I understand that you're basically saying I wouldn't know ahead of time what choice I would make, and I'd need to spend some time in prayer or meditation in order to determine that answer. I think that's a perfectly acceptable answer, and there's no reason to go any further with it. That's fine.
But if I come upon something that's a surprise, and I'm like, oh, what do I do in this instant right now? Then I just go with my gut feeling.
Sounds a Christian, Mom. You said hi in chat.
Hi.
We're ignoring chat.
I would think. I think it would be more. I would feel more immoral choosing what they get.
You feel more immoral what?
Choosing what they spend the money on.
Okay. Well,
That'd be adorable.
I would say I would tend to, especially if the person expressed their view directly and said, "We want a yoke for our burrow," I would say, "Here, just take the $50 then, and you guys figure it out." If somehow the poor people could bypass the charitable organization and say, "Hey, Eric, we heard you give 50 pesos to the charitable organization. Could you just give it to us directly? I'd say, yes, I can. It's very industrious of you finding me and co-opting their charitable giving like that. I like that.
I don't think there's a bad answer there.
Well, I agree with that answer too.
You're gonna get like 18 Mexicans calling you tonight.
But see, here's the problem.
5 of them.
They're from Ecuador.
I don't
Ecuadorian.
get any charitable organizations, so I'm not on any of those lists.
I'm
You
still
drink
gonna
coffee?
do a charity donation.
Yes,
But
I'll buy some of your coffee. Yes, Nick's brother, I will buy some of your coffee.
That's not what I'm saying.
Nick's brother, I already out on my to-do list, which is right
That's
here.
not. You're misunderstanding me. You say
But
that.
that's good. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy that you will buy my coffee, but that I wasn't trying to convince you to do that. My question was more, you don't like to give to charity, but if you can do that through something, so you're already going to buy coffee.
Right.
If you can choose to buy this different coffee,
Hey.
like how do you think about that?
Just because I make arguments on the other side doesn't mean I don't think it's a good idea.
No,
I
he's
just
trying to ask you a thought-provoking question.
This is not a personal question about you.
I think it's a good line of reasoning that informs my consumer decision in a way that would be positive to your ends. But it's not. It doesn't convince me, because the other thing is, if I'm really seeking to buy coffee, it's not like, oh, right now I want to buy coffee. If I think that means I'm out of coffee right now and I need coffee right now. I don't need to order coffee to come later, right? On the other hand, if I have coffee and I'm at the store but I'm low, I might think, oh, I should pick one up. That's convenient. On the other hand, if I have enough coffee and I'm not at the store, I'm at the store and I won't get it, right? The one thing that's very difficult to do is think to myself, I will order a coffee online to meet my coffee needs. What's easy to think to myself is, having talked about this fucking coffee so much, I'm definitely ordering it. And I bet it tastes like shit.
I promise it doesn't taste like shit.
Okay, well, I'll find out.
Yeah. I wasn't asking.
That's
Like,
fine,
I was asking.
dude. I know you weren't. Nobody's accusing you of asking for anything. You made no FE mistakes, okay? Your FE is fine. Well, that's cool. Okay, to meet your
It's an all else equal question. It's an all else equal. If you've got 3 choices and one of them donates to charity, do you choose that one?
No.
That's basically my question.
Depends on what charity.
Yeah, I think for me it would depend on what charity too. There are some charities that I'd intentionally avoid.
I would agree with that too.
I intentionally avoid almost all of them. You know, in this particular instance, this particular charitable actor has talked to me about it a lot. I heard a lot about it, but even then, that's not what's influencing me to get it. I just like Nick and Nick's brother, so I'm going to buy some of this fucking coffee, you know? Which is fine. It's a perfectly fine reason to buy things. That's what I'm hoping to sell my shit with, too, is, well, people like me, then maybe they'll want to buy it because they feel bad for me or something. You know, whatever you do is fine. I don't care.
What link? What's this link I'm being told to ask about?
All right, well, I agree with you, She. That's why I don't give to charity normally. But I'll buy this coffee. Even if it were a bad charity, I'd still buy it at this point. If it were like, let's stab Guatemalans with pitchforks, they'd be like, well, fuck, I mean, I gotta buy some of this coffee now. It's a foreseeable but non-intentional consequence of my act.
Talking with famous people.